Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here again today by Mr. Jeff Smart and Eric Kelly. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good. I hope you guys got in the rig as much as I did, or more than I did.
Definitely not.
All right, let's get into it.
It's good to hear Eric, man. Eric's voice again. He couldn't join us last week, but hey, man, welcome back. So before I even get into what the show is going to be about today, I want to hear. I think Eric has a lot of things that he wants to put out here on the show, so I'm going to give him the mic and step back here.
Yeah. So first off, PS5 is master race when it comes to sim racing. I want you guys to know. No, but for real. So I got a couple of things. I got the SimMagic GT Neo racing wheel, probably the most important racing wheel that's out right now. And also I got one of the SimMagic haptic motors. Good news and bad news. Start with the good. The GT Neo is amazing.
I wish everybody could see the smile on his face right now.
For the price,
he's got this
amazing.
Permanent grin. This is permanent, bro.
Bro, this is my first butterfly style wheel, right? I've only driven round rims, so there was some things that stuck out to me. One of them, Jason mentioned before, where because you have all the force feedback coming into such small areas in your hands, it's more intense, more detailed. And I noticed that immediately. And it was not scary, but it definitely was, it woke me up when I first started driving with it. Yeah. But also being able to set my degrees of rotation to, match the car more directly. And just aesthetically, it just feels like you're steering a GT car or whatever more naturally. The customization is crazy. The build quality for the price, unmatched, right?
Unparalleled, man.
I mean, it is rock solid.
100%.
Build materials. Like obviously it's not magic, right? They have to actually cut costs somewhere. Whoever comes up with those decisions from SimMagic, they need their flowers immediately.
They don't get paid enough.
They don't. Whatever they're getting paid, they don't get paid enough. So that's the good news. I've been playing with it in SimHub, imported some LED profiles.
Look at you,
like a kid in the candy store.
Damn, man.
Man, he has
getting emotional
since you started talking about this stuff.
Hey, man, that's the good news. So the bad news, I got the haptic motor. I was able to experience it a little bit, plugged it up to my PC, just kind of tested out some profiles and things like that with it. But on PS5, as of right now, there's no way to use it. And it's really because SimMagic is so well integrated. Because the haptic motor plugs natively into the pedal set, there's no way to just get data to the haptic motor without having that pedal set plugged into the PC. Obviously, the pedal set's plugged into the PC. It's not plugged into the PlayStation, which means I can't use it. So right now, it's just a sad reminder that I need to hurry up and get a PC. But as far as the integration is beautiful. Like they kind of thought of everything, and I'm excited. I'll probably be a little more irresponsible when it comes to getting a PC now, just so I can add that to my, to my arsenal. But I'm excited, man.
So I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the P1000 pedal set.
Yep.
And how easy was it to just upgrade your pedal or install something on there that didn't come in the box?
Crazy easy. The pedals have native slots for the mounting bracket for the haptic motor. So the haptic motor mounts. So there's a bracket that you just bolt to the back of the pedal, whichever one, brake, throttle. I don't have a clutch, but it'd be the same for the clutch. 2 bolts, put that on. And then the haptic motor has 4 little hex bolts that you screw it on with. You unscrew the faceplate, screw on the haptic motor, and then screw the faceplate back on, and you're done. Like
And it's
it's
like OEM is kind of like disappears. Like
OEM disappears, but also once you put it on, it looks and feels like it came on there. Like it looks like
Like
a
it
native
grew
piece
on
of
there.
equipment. Yeah, like that's
Eric, how long did it
yeah.
take you to do all this stuff? To
Uh,
install the haptic?
to install the haptic, like 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
cool.
that's with me taking it off and putting it back on because the way I had it on originally, the SimMagic logo on it was upside down. So I rotated it around because I wanted to make sure it looked right.
I know
And
we're all friends for a reason now.
yeah, man.
yeah,
And then's a
yeah,
wow,
I was like, even though I can't use this thing,
perfectionist.
it's gonna look right. So I had to run the wire, and even just being able to run the wire through to each side of the pedal because there's a certain on the pedal set there are four little barrel style plugs on there, and they all do different things. One's for haptics for the clutch, one's haptics for the brake, one's haptics for the throttle, and the other one is a power for the LED light bar that you can install. And all this is native as far
So
as
that's
being able to add it on. And so you have to run the haptic motor to a specific one of the barrels, and it's on the left side of the brake pedal the way I have it set up. And so I just run the cable across the back of the faceplate, and it looks like that's how it's supposed to go.
so it's real easy to grow with these pedals, and that's kind of why I'm a little jealous of the ecosystem that they have put together because you can add um hydraulic brake now to the pedals. You can add a damper to the gas pedal. You can add those motors that you just installed. You can add a different heel plate or a longer gas. It's just awesome, man. That's very awesome.
Yeah, what they're doing at SimMagic, with them being my first foray really into sim racing. I had a lot of say G29 or whatever. There's no ecosystem. Like you buy the parts, and there's some aftermarket stuff. You can mod it, but as far as the OEM level customization of SimMagic, I can't authoritatively say it's unrivaled, but it's damn impressive.
I think for the doll, I mean, I got the almost the same setup for pedal wise, and dollars per what you get is head and shoulders, in my opinion. Now I haven't tested everything, but incredible for the what you pay for what you get and how easy it is to set up and all your stuff's in one place. Eric, man, I'm with you, man. It's really nice. What do you usually been driving? What have you been driving the last couple of days with it?
So when I first got everything set up, and once I got over my disappointment in not being able to use the haptic motors, I stayed up till about 2 o'clock on ACC, just driving.
Dude,
I had to break it in good, man.
I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but like you get in that rig with that Neo and you're like, damn, I'm fast. I might not be fast, but I feel fast.
Bro, you feel like you're driving a space shuttle, man. Like it
And what did
really
you think of the
changes it.
comfort, dude? Like, because that's the one thing that I like about this wheel the most is the comfort on the wheel.
So I actually ended up adjusting my wheelbase. So before I had it at a top mount on the crossbar, and what I ended up doing was taking basically mounting it from the underside, so it sits a little bit lower, so it's kind of more in a not in my lap, but kind of a more natural position because now I don't have a steering wheel that I'm going to be rotating a lot. Now I need something that's kind of in the pocket. And so I was able to make that adjustment because I do have an 80/20 rig and not my little wooden, ghetto setup before. I was able to adjust that, and just the comfort of doing that now, it feels like I'm in a cockpit versus driving a road car, which makes sense.
That's cool. Do you notice any difference with? I'm sure there's a learning curve, especially because you drive VR. Now that you've got a new wheel, learning button location, things like that, or is it pretty quick pickup?
So that's interesting. So with the Neo, the way that it connects to the PlayStation, there's sort of like a default PlayStation button mapping. You can go into SimHub, I believe, either SimHub or SimPro, one of the two. I haven't customized it because it's just easier for me to use it how it is out the box. But essentially, it maps a G29 style control button set. So there's some rotaries, like you get two rotaries, you get some multifunction dials that you can assign. The normal PlayStation controls like triangle, square, X, L2, L1, L3. You get all those. And so they're kind of arranged a little bit differently than on my GTS wheel, but once I kind of know where everything is kind of easy to
Second
press.
nature.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So, and to wrap this up, it's a great time for anyone that either already purchased this wheel, the GT Neo, or it's had it for a while because they just received a firmware update. So I don't know if any of you have updated your wheels yet, but they added on firmware update 1.3.6, they added absolute value encoder function. So what does that mean? So that means that the encoder now is a hard encoder. So it'll remember its position. So if the car is set to ABS 1, then your dial will be the way your dial is, wherever it's indicating, it'll sync up with the game type of deal. It's nice. So
Hmm.
if you so if you load up a setup and the car has a 6 ABS, the wheel's going to automatically switch it back to 1 because you have to manually turn it. You know what I mean? Because it's not just a free spinning knob.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
say? It has a
Okay.
memory function. They just updated that and it's 100% free. So go in there and you got to use Sim Pro. You can't update it through anywhere. You have to use their software, Sim Pro, to update your GT Neos. And it
So
took, yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, so is that I saw when I plugged everything up and updated it, is that the encoder update that they were mentioning in there?
So this came out 5 days ago. So then you're
Okay. Yeah.
probably on the latest firmware.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I
Well,
was reading
I'm
the,
glad. Go ahead, Eric.
yeah.
Sorry.
And I was going to say, I was reading the release notes for the update, and it mentioned something about the encoder, but I wasn't sure what it was. But it sounds like that might have been what it was.
yep, the absolute value encoder function.
Yeah, I heard on a couple of the groups I follow that a couple of people had some problems with the update. So I purposely did not do the update, but I'll probably give it a day or two and just kind of make sure that it's got it all sorted out. But I know that was one of the big gripes when the Neo came out, was those rotary dials were like buttons, not like a true dial. So it seems like they got that sorted out. That'll be awesome.
Right. I think the Fanatec, if you look at the Fanatec wheels, they have the multifunctional position switch, which is the same thing. That's what it is. So it's one dial per encoder. It's awesome. Because you
Hmm.
can think about it, you can map all kinds of things now using SimHub by using this function. You if you set one dial to a certain position and then you move another dial, that can be another option. Or you can set option number 1 to control ABS, and then the other dial controls it up and down, and then so on and so forth. But I am glad to have you back on the show, Eric. It is awesome to
Yes,
have you
sir.
back.
Happy to
Today
be
we're gonna
back.
cover. Hey, that's what's up, man. Today we last episode we wrapped up hardware tools that are commonly used in sim racing, and today it's gonna be another part 2 episode because Sim Hub is gonna be its own episode, and it's technically part of the software side of things. But today we're gonna cover Crew Chief. We're gonna cover Lovely Sim Racing. We're gonna cover setup software for setups, for car setups specifically. We're going to touch a little bit about race department and also some tools for your liveries that are free. So without further ado, I'm going to give this to Jeff. He's going to cover the first tool, and that tool is called Crew Chief.
Hey, thanks, Jason. So just a little background for everybody on what Crew Chief is. Crew Chief's a program that kind of just runs in the background and communicates with the program. He basically reads the telemetry and is more or less a spotter for you as you're driving. So, if you can listen to any of the F1 drivers as their spotters are talking to them, or NASCAR, or really any type of motorsport, as a car pulls up on, they're coming down the straightaway and a car pulls up to the right, you'll hear in a different voice come over, the speaker saying, car to your right, still there. All right, you're clear. And he is, reading the telemetry, or what the game's, sending out for data that their car's still there. It's pretty impressive. Every time you come across the, start finish line, he gives you a data point on your lap, how it was in reference to your previous laps, or your laps that day. He will pretty much do everything that you can ask of him. And honestly, I'm interesting that I said that, is you can actually, and Jason, help me out here. You can actually, initiate him to give you some data.
You can talk to him.
Yeah.
You can talk to him. So you have different options on how you want to do that. So you can either always have Crew Chief listening. So he'll always listen. So he's always listening to you. So if I tell him track update, if I say that, then he'll tell me everything about the track, the temperature, the weather, etc. And there's also a button press, which I love to use because in iRacing, I like to chat. So I have one button press to open up the chat in iRacing, and then I have a separate button to press to talk to Crew Chief. And that keeps it separate. It's kind of nice. And it's basically it's like an assistant, man. It's like a Google assistant for you, basically. Yeah, you can even tell him. Yeah, you can even tell him to set an alarm. Like you could tell him, hey, set a timer for 10 minutes, and he'll alarm you about whatever it is that you're trying to do or doing on track.
One of the best updates that I really like, and probably one of the biggest reasons why I use it, is he tells me that the delta to the guy in front and to the guy in back. So I know relative to front and back, if I'm closing on the front, or if I need to start worrying about, start driving with my elbows out, that somebody from behind me is catching up. Because there's a lot of stuff going on, those that have raced, other people. You kind of, at least I do, is I'm get that tunnel vision on the car in front of me, and I kind of, that rear view mirror gets really small. and it's nice to have that guy in your ear chirping, hey, gap to guy behind you is down to, 1.8. I probably should start paying attention to that guy in the back. So it really helps with the situational awareness of the car, fuel wise, and how everybody's driving around you to, helps out with, crashes, etc. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool tool. And the best part about it is it's free.
It's free.
You can pick different people's voices that you want. I think the main guy's name is Jeff, so that's kind of cool. Jeff talking to Jeff.
I get to hear Jeff all freaking day on the show, on text, and now on my simulator. I can't get away from him.
Yeah, cool.
I don't
know if it was Jason. Was you was telling me that there's a setting buried in there that you can he can cuss at you if you're really driving pretty crappy.
Yes. Please enable it. It's called swear words. You click on that checkbox. And the checkbox. Oh, and another thing is that when you put your name in, he'll call you out by your name.
Yeah, so, super cool.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, wow. That was an excellent lap, Jason," or "Keep pushing, Jason." Man. Good, Or
earlier today, he was like, "Hey, Jeff, you're faster than that, and the car's faster than that. Let's pick up the pace." And I was like, "Damn, man! Like, I'm doing the best I got right now."
I love it when he curses, man. It's like I crashed one time. I think it was on Spa. I lost the car on the turn. You know what turn I'm talking about? The nasty one at the beginning.
Yep.
And he's like, "We really fucked up the suspension on the car."
We'll have to put an expletive warning on this one. Yeah.
Oh no, they're all explicit.
Are they okay? All right. Yeah. It's cool, and it can switch from game to game with a click, one click, and it's got all the major games: ACC, Assetto Corsa, iRacing, WRC, all the stuff. that you could F1, all the games you could want, it supports. It's a cool app. It's free. You're missing out if you don't have it. I think it's the best way to say it.
And it's really light on your system.
Yeah.
So don't think that by running this, you're going to lose on frames on the game or whatever. It's really light. And there's also an app that's called CC Start. 2 C's, Charlie, Start. And what that app does is that it's a little coding app, and it'll automatically launch Crew Chief for you when the game's launched. So if you hadn't had that set up yet, Jeff, you need to, because sometimes you forget to launch Crew Chief before you launch in a new game, or you switch a game and Crew Chief is set to control ACC and you jumped into iRacing. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, my Stream Deck saved me today as I jumped into iRacing. Luckily, I was using iRacing previously, but as the game was loading, I just, luckily those that listened to the Stream Deck episode previously, just a quick button, it launched and got me right in. But yeah, I'll have to take a look into that, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's that one extra thing that runs in the background that doesn't hurt. It's just a line of code that says, if this game launches, launch Crew Chief using this profile, which is the ACC profile or the AC profile or whatever, what have you. So it's kind of nice to have.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, the only thing is it's only on the PC, Eric. Sorry. So
yeah, I picked up on that.
Yeah, I mean it adds to the immersion. Well, it's pretty cool when it says, hey Jeff, you're driving slow or something. Go ahead, Eric.
So you said that it reads the telemetry from the game. Does it have to? Is it doing that outside, or is it doing that? Does it work with SimHub at all?
Yes, because SimHub uses a port, right?
Okay.
So whatever port that data is being fed to, Crew Chief can see that and spit out data using the same. So it's real time. There is no lag. So, it is amazing.
So I wonder, because I'm getting some telemetry from GT7. I wonder what all it's getting, because I've only looked at the telemetry from like a haptic motor standpoint, but I wonder if it's getting anything else. I don't know. It might be worth playing around with to see.
Right. We might be butchering it and not. I don't think I've never seen anyone use it, but who knows? We might be wrong. It's worth a shot. It's free.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. Yeah. It's magic. It's cool. That's all I know. I use it.
You might still need to have a PC running somewhere else and connected to your headphones to kind of transmit the data. So I mean, you still need some sort of computer running. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because even when I got my haptic motor, in my mind, I was gonna, like I talked to you about the Raspberry Pi thing, or even just having a laptop over there. I plan on having a PC just over there, just not one that I was running the game on, to actually
listen, Eric,
read the telemetry stuff.
You need to stop playing all these games. Just stop playing the games.
Hey man,
stop ducking and dodging, man, and get the damn PC.
Hey, man. We need to start a GoFundMe page.
Yes. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That pay me later.
Don't tempt me.
That pay me later thing, you know what I'm saying? Dude, just put a little bit of down, a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
No, don't tempt me, bro.
Was it NZXP?
NZXT.
That's the page,
Let's
man.
go.
That's the page. I get you in trouble in a heartbeat.
Hey, man.
I know, and they'll ship out a machine.
I may or may not have a whole PC part picker system set up.
You don't need that. You go to NZXT, they'll build it for you. It'll show up to your house in a box. You plug it in. I think it's $100, right?
That's why I can't talk to you, man.
That thing showed up at my house. My wife was like, "How much was that?" It's like, they gave it to me. You know that movie?
Yeah, that's what
it was a gift.
They gave it to me. They gave you this. They gave it to me.
So yeah, Crew Chief is awesome. Crew Chiefs it's been around for a long time, so definitely that is a must-have. I'm sorry. You need to, whoever's on PC and you're not using Crew Chief, you need to get Crew Chief. It'll help you and it'll keep your mind at ease. Like Jeff said, when someone's creeping up behind you and you don't know, you turn into a corner somewhere and you're not paying attention, you just hit the guy. With Crew Chief, you at least know, hey, somebody's there, dude. Like, if you It'll tell you hold your line too. It's kind of nice. Hold your line, meaning, all right, so I need to hold my line and allow space with racing. But then if he's approaching me, that's time for me to shut the door. You know what I mean? And start defending. So that's crew
Yeah,
chief.
that sounds invaluable, man. To be honest.
Invaluable.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's like a few megabytes of storage size. So the next one is Lovely Sim Racing. And I say Lovely Sim Racing because Lovely Sim Racing is now become an ecosystem. It's multiple products that talk to each other and immerse the user into, the racing or whatever you're trying to do, right? Lap times, whatever. And he started out, the gentleman's name is Konstantinos. He goes by Konstantinos. And he started out making a dashboard that works with SimHub called Lovely Dashboard. And his vision was, why do I need to have so many different dashboards for so many different games? I want to have a single dashboard that works with all titles and gives me all the data that I need that's relevant. And let me tell you that I cannot live without the Lovely Dashboard. So much that I became a supporter immediately when he opened up support for it. Because he has it's like a patron, but it uses Ko-Fi to buy him a coffee. And it's because
Yeah.
he's based out of Greece, he's based out of Europe, and it's a lot cheaper. He keeps more money, so he does it that way. I've had this talk with him many times, like, dude, just make a patron. It's like easier for me. And it's like, no, but you lose a lot of money with Patreon because of the fees. And I was like, all right, fine. So Ko-Fi, check him out. So you have your main screen, and it has 4 quadrants. So it has your middle quadrant, the 2 sides, and the bottom. The bottom one is your fuel, and the bottom one has 3 pages on it. So the bottom one tells you how much fuel you have. When you skip the page, it tells you how much you have remaining, like in time, how much time remaining to run out of fuel. And I ran out of fuel on one of my live streams. It happens even with the Lovely Dashboard.
I
So I'm
remember that.
cursed.
I remember
I
that.
see Jeff laughing over there. Dude, I had a nice race and I freaking ran out of fuel. Oh my God. So, and then the other one is telling you when to pit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's telling you, he's updated it now. Now it flashes, it tells you pit now for fuel. And then it tells you the average of how much gas your car is burning, how many liters you have, and how many liters are being used per lap on that track in real time. So that's just the bottom quadrant. And then it tells you your ABS, your TCS, your engine map, and the left and the right side screen are customizable. You can have one side showing lap times or sectors or relatives or the grid, right? The standings. Or you can have it show you a live map, which is awesome because if you don't know a track, it's hard to learn a track that you don't know, right? And it's a little easier to have a little reference point on a heads up display right like that. So you could play around with that, and you can also set it to have it default to a certain screen based off the sim. So for me, I love to see who's in front of me, who's behind me at all times. So I see my opponent, and it shows me who they are, and if it's iRacing, it tells me what their license, what kind of license they have. It tells me what their fastest lap time was and what their last lap time was. So I'm looking at my lap time, and I'm looking at their lap time, and I'm like, whoa, I'm losing time. So then on the other right side, I have the sectors, and I can see I'm yellow in sector 2. I'm slow in sector 2. I need to pick it up in sector 2, and so on and so forth. And then the middle quadrant shows you the speed, the gear, and then you could cycle between the delta, you could cycle between the actual race clock and the actual time that it is in real life as well. That's just on the first screen. The next screen is just the same thing but blown up with a map on it. And I think it's technically two screens, I believe. So it's just a bigger map, so you can see a bigger map. So that's a lovely dashboard. It is free, but I highly recommend supporting the man because he'll give you access to his beta software, and he updates this thing almost every Friday. And it's not just fixes, it's features and features and features. And it's like $1. It's like €1, €1 per month to get you started with the lovely dashboard. And then on top of that, he has another dashboard that's called Lovely Flags, and it shows the flag and in what sector the flag happened. You know, um, he also has the pit wall. So the pit wall is a large, um, is a huge blown up screen of basically the entire dashboard, and it has a big map. It has all the quadrants nicely placed. It has, you name it, it has everything, man. It has everything up there, and I use that on my top screen on my fourth monitor to display everybody's lap times, everybody's license, everybody, where people are on track at one particular, moment. And then he picked up a wheel called the Asher Racing Artura Ultimate, which it is in my sights. And when I look at something, it usually ends up at the house. So
how
They
much is
gave
that
it
one,
to
Jason?
me.
I don't know whose package this is. It
I-
just showed up.
It'd be
I don't-
wrong of me not to use it.
I know, right? I don't know
Hey,
where this thing came from.
Yeah. So if I could pile onto that pit wall, I was maybe like 3 months ago, I was talking to Jason about getting the fourth monitor. And you were like, oh, I can't live without it now that I've used it. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of BS. Like, you just want me to get it. So I got it. And then you get that pit wall. It honestly, like,
Damn, Jeff.
the truth hurts sometimes. I ran that pit wall in qualifying. It for me is really when I use it the most, because I'll run my first lap and I'll look up and I will check where I am in reference to everybody else that's running their qualifying at the same time. Like if it's telling me P20, I'm like, oh man, like I am going to be struggling this race. And I know I'd really need to hammer down that second lap to move up in the field, or I run it, it says, hey, P3. Okay, like I don't need to push it too much. If I can get a little faster one, that'd be great. But it just, because it gives you that live feel, the live timing. It's a pretty cool, especially in practice. You look up there because it does have the map layout as you're coming through. You can see if anybody's jumping out of the pits. It's awesome. Before I switched over to Lovely Dashboard on my DDU, I was like, I don't know, like everybody makes a big deal about this thing. It can't be that good. So I got it, downloaded it, put it in, and raced it, and now I look at people like, oh man, like you don't run the Lovely Dashboard, like I just can't take you seriously.
Like, what are you doing with your
What do you
life
do?
right
Like,
now?
what do you not like going fast? Like,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like it's that good that like it's good. I don't know how to explain it, but it's got everything you can need in one place. It's boom right there.
Right. It's readily available, and it uses SimHub, which again, I keep saying this every episode. We're gonna get to SimHub, but these are part of that's part of his ecosystem. It works very, very tightly with SimHub. I know Konstantinos speaks to Nicola all the time, and that's the developer, Nicola, the developer of SimHub, the creator, and he's been patching SimHub to work better with the lovely sim racing ecosystem, which is awesome. And I'm sure there's more. There's a lot more that goes to that. There's also his story, and we'll get to that. Trust me, we will get to that at a later date. But that covers lovely sim racing, and I want to also throw in there Mr. Daniel Newman Racing as well. So Daniel Newman works closely with Konstantinos, which is the creator of Lovely Sim Racing, and he um, developed LEDs that sync to your car 1-to-1 to what the car, to the game, and to the vehicle that's being driven in the game. And there is a step forward because the lights on your wheel, the lights, everything, the lights on the wheel, the lights on your DDU, it's all being synced together with the lovely dashboard. So he is another pioneer that's putting out some amazing stuff. You need to check him out as well. I'll leave links in the description of this episode for lovely sim, for all of it. Crew Chief, Lovely Sim Racing, and Daniel Newman, because those three together is going to step up the immersion and the usability of the data that you have. You have all this data and it's going nowhere. But with this data just coming, being fed right at your face. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, the Daniel Newman stuff for me is just PFM, pure friggin' magic. How all the LED profiles work. Listen,
it's a lot of work.
You just download, yeah, hours. I mean, both of them for lovely, like, and Daniel Newman. You see these dudes on YouTube, and you can just oozes the passion for sim racing.
Right.
And the products that they got could save you days of programming LEDs and buttons and lights and colors and so on and so forth. So,
yeah, they make it real easy for you. You install the stuff, you follow their guides. They both have Discords, they both have YouTube, and they both have websites. Daniel Newman is also subscription based, and he also has free. He also has a free tier that you could try it out. If you want to try it out, check it out and see if you like it. I'm telling you now, if you try it, you're going to want to subscribe, and highly recommend both of them. And also SimHub, and I've covered this, but the SimHub license, the $10 forever, lifetime, is 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, it's no brainer. You need to go ahead and do that. Definitely.
Just do it. Just do it and forget about it.
Yep.
All right. So the next few are going to be quick. We're going to go over these briefly. So setup software, I'm going to mention two because these two are the most popular and they're the most developed. So we have Go setups and CDA setups. CDA meaning Coach Dave Academy. And what they do is that they have drivers that are, we call them aliens. They do these lap times on the car based off of a setup, and they let you download that setup and put it in the car and drive using a meta setup, right? The setup that's being, instead of you finagling setups on the car, you can try these setups, but I don't want you to just try them and run them. I want you to try them, run them, and then make adjustments, because there's no one setup for everybody. Everybody drives different. Everybody has different habits. But these setups will get you way faster to those lap times than with just building something from scratch. There's still nothing better than building a setup from scratch, but we're talking about saving a lot of time and a lot of headache. You know what I mean? With these. And they have a software. Go Setups has a software that will automatically plug in the setups for you. So when you hit load setup on a car in ACC, it'll just show up. Now, CDSA has one program called Delta, and that's what I use. And that thing is awesome. So Delta, it will not only just, it'll create a setup. It won't just put the file inside the folder and then you can load it. It will create a setup based off the track conditions. So if the track is 38 degrees or 30 degrees Celsius, right? It'll make a setup based off the temperature and the air temperature, I believe, the weather, the time of day, the tire pressures, all of it will be ready. All you have to do is just hit the load button and you'll see that the setup was created that very second. And now they created a telemetry-based screen that shows you your lap times, and you can compare your data to other drivers, to other setups. And that's happening in real time using telemetry. And I used to use an app called Motec, which is a real life data app that's being used on, you know, automotive cars around the world, but it's very complicated to read that data and to have it, you know, nicely presented with a nice graph and all this stuff. So definitely check those out. Those are not right this minute. You need to subscribe to them, try them, do a free trial if they offer one, and then make the decision if that's going to work for you or not. So the next thing is, it's just a website. It's called Race Department, and Race Department has a lot of nice, you know, up to date articles. It's hosted by Overtake. They have a YouTube channel. But Race Department, where it really shines, is that if you want to download mods for your game or any dashboards or any icon packs, you know, they're available for free. You just have to log in and download them. And then for the last bit, I'm going to give this over to Jeff, which is a tool that he recently discovered and is excited about. So I'll give this to Jeff here.
Yeah, last bit of software that we're planning to cover today is Trading Paint, and it's really for iRacing, and it is kind of two different sides of it. The first is I think it's the free side where you can just download liveries for whatever car you're using and driving in iRacing. So somebody else has done the hard work, designed a car. You know, like for me, I'm driving the F4 car, and there's legitimately hundreds of people have designed F4 cars to look like whatever you want. You know, they got the old Senna style cars, the Marlboro McLarens, and then they have the new modern day Red Bulls. If you want to drive, you know, if you like in the F1 style, you know, liveries, they have, pick a company or, you know, whatever, and they have designed one for it. You want rainbows and unicorns? Somebody's designed a car with rainbows and unicorns on it. The other side of the house is one where you can design it yourself. And that's what I've kind of got into lately is I design my own car for my F4 car. So when I jump in there, it's my car. Nobody else has got one like it. It's got, you know, the things that I like and products that I use on the side of it. And I'll be honest with you.
I didn't know you designed that skin that you showed me.
But that was all me, homie.
That was all you? Oh man.
And when I pass people, I'm like, damn, dude, I'm passing you, and my car looks better than you. I don't get to say it very often, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like you can put your name and your flag of, you know, your nationality on the car. It's cool. Like whatever, you know, if you have companies that you like and you support, you can put their logos on there. Color combinations, and it's well, if you're going to design it yourself and want to upload logos, I think it costs a couple bucks a year. But really, I mean, like that's the cost of a car in iRacing. So at least, I mean,
there you
me,
go.
The way I justified it was
comparing coffees, man. They did the same thing the other day.
I know, but kind of the way I looked at it is I'm going to drive that F4 car for a while, so you know, a couple bucks to have it look my way and really like I like it. And it's my car and it's the way I want it.
Right.
Yes.
And no one has it. No one. Well, they could download it, but then your name is all over it, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to run it, hey, okay, it's cool. I don't think I've uploaded for public, but okay, that's cool. I didn't know I did that good of a job that somebody would want to drive my livery. But Jason, I'll send it to you. You can run it if you want.
I definitely would like to try it out, man. Send me the link to that. And there's a similar tool. It's the same thing that we're talking about, but it's for ACC for those people that use LFM. And but it's not as easy to make a skin. So the skin that I have, I had it commissioned, I had it made, and then I had it upload. I had to upload it to LFM, and it goes through this verification process. They look at it, they make sure it's not going to crash the game or whatever, like, you know. And the thing is with LFM, you have to have, it's called LFM ACC Livery Tool. And you have to have that installed to be able to see the skin. So if you're racing with me and you don't have this tool installed, you won't be able to see my skin. It'll it'll look generic. It'll look like a
Really?
yeah.
I don't know
So
if
on
it's like that
iRacing,
for
I
iRacing.
don't think
And
so.
honestly, I've noticed. I would say the vast majority of people are running custom liveries. So the vast majority of people, I think, have trading
Yeah, because
paint or some
iRacing
type of
doesn't
paint.
have skins. Like they really
Oh,
don't
it's
have.
garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like the color of your driver. If it's blue, red, like very basic
Yeah.
skins, but to be able to put like if you're racing an F3 car and you want to put Fernando Alonso's skin, I promise you they have it on
Promise
trading
you.
paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to your point, to your thing about LFM and ACC, like that skin you got is dope. Like sometimes you get what you pay for in this world. That's a dope skin. Like that's worth
Thanks.
paying for. That dude, yeah,
Yeah.
that dude delivered.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was nice, man, because he would send me a schematic over email, and with my iPad I would draw on it and tell him, "No, I want this, I want that, I want that." Then he'll make me another version, and then it's kind of cool. I'll add the link that I use to the service in the description because I don't remember right now, but the cost of it was about 30-40 euro to get that. And again, it's not a cup of coffee, but that's my car. In ACC, I drive one car. I have two cars that I drive: the Ferrari 296 and the McLaren 720S, and I have the same skin for both of them. There's just a little different variants of them.
Yeah, that's how I justified the F4. Like that's what I drive now. That's what I'm into, and I want it looking the way I want it to look. And if it was a
Yeah,
couple boxes,
Yeah.
couple bucks. But God, man, they change those tracks on iRacing all the time. It's like God, another
yeah.
$14, another
It's,
$14. Like God bless America. Come on,
dude, you
killing
better
me.
buy in threes, bro, because you get the
So
discount.
you save like $2.
I know.
Killing me.
So there's one thing with iRacing. If you own, is it 20 or 30? It's a number. 20 or 30 pieces of content, then you get a permanent 20% off. It will still rack up because if you are dumb like me and you looked at how much it would cost to buy everything in iRacing, you're looking at over $1,000.
Yeah, I mean some of the
Damn.
stuff you ain't never gonna
Let that
use.
sink in.
Yeah, I mean like there's a lot
That's
of
like
stuff
the
out there
cost.
that yeah.
Dude, that's a video card for Eric. Come on.
That's a
Exactly.
super nice video card for Eric.
I'm telling you, top of the line, man.
That's
So,
yeah.
so when you say buy the tracks, when you say the tracks change, are you saying that they like Spa changes and you have to buy it, or they change what tracks are available?
No,
No,
they changed the
so
schedule.
yeah, so like
So the
2 weeks ago, or it was like a track in Japan and one other one that they really use the majority of
Uh
them. So like when I jumped in the other day and I clicked, let me jump in this race. It was like, hey, it's going to cost you $14. You don't have the track that we're looking to use, but then everybody's going to be like, God, like so you either sit out and you don't
oh
race that thing, or you swipe your car for $14.
oh okay.
or
So
You
or
do
so
you
that
go
enough
to the
more of the
times.
rookies.
season.
Or you go to rookies and race, the free content's
I didn't
always there.
grind out of rookies to drive rookies.
I knew it. The
so basically, as the
iRacing bug
season
is in
so as the
place.
season progresses, like they put out the schedule of the next upcoming race, and it's like
Yo,
you might or
Eric,
might not have it.
No,
they switch
no.
this stuff every week.
So
Dang.
you look at an event, right? And well, this is going to be the end of the show right
All
here.
right, go for it, buddy. We're going long here today.
So Formula C, right? Let's say you race in Formula C. You click on the schedule for that season, and it lists all the tracks in that season. If you don't, it's let's say this week it's Spa, it'll be that same race will be happening all week on Spa. Then the next week it'll change to a different track. But if
Okay.
you don't, it's not like you have to rebuy stuff, Eric. If that's what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean. No,
Well,
you're
no, I
not
was
rebuying
saying like
anything.
it's dictated by the schedule for the season. So as the
Yes,
season, yeah. So
it
whatever
is. It
the
is
next schedule,
dictated,
yeah.
but it's not. But it doesn't change every week. It'll change by the season. Like
Oh,
seasons
that's right,
collapse.
because it did just change seasons. Like,
We're season 3 right now of
yeah, it kind of, and it just
2024.
not just started, but it clicked over relatively recently.
And that was your
Hmm.
time to promote to the next license if you don't do it the safety way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
As long as Yeah.
I got no business going to sea right now.
Yes, you do.
I'm grinding.
Yes, you do.
Grinding. I'm grinding my D. Hey, listen, it's fun. It's fun. I have a good time.
And that's all that matters, man. I mean, think about how many, if we're going to rationalize this, the amount of hours that you put on racing versus the amount of money. I used to track race in California, motorcycles. Eric could tell you. A track day for one day was $500.
Easy, I bet. Yeah.
With tires. Yep. Forget about your tires. You know, you need a set of tires for that day. And once you're done with that day, those tires go in the garbage.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Yep.
And a set of Pirellis, even if it's just 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The P word.
Italiano. You know? But they're the best.
Man, to your point, like I get out of the rig and my heart's going, like, you know, it gets hot in the room, you're sweating, you're like, damn, dude. It's like,
I want to jump on right now. I'm about to get on right now. I'm trying to wrap this episode up.
All right, let's wrap this sucker up here.
No, it's good to hear from I was going to say all 3, but it's good to have the whole gang back. So I'm just recovering. I was sick this week as well. So, you know, things happen, but I'm glad that everybody is in good health and is still racing, and we're all still excited about the hobby, because that's the one thing is we have to make sure that we keep this relevant and we keep it, you know, we keep pushing. And that doesn't mean spending money. It doesn't have to be spending money, but we keep, you know, we'll share these tools with you guys to expand and make it better and better and better. So without further ado, the round table. So whoever gets to it first, please, do you have anything to put out?
Nothing
I got
here.
a quick one. Hey, the email address, the Chicane Podcast at Gmail. So jump in there. Tell us what your favorite track is, why it's your favorite track, and we'll talk about our favorite track maybe next week real quick as the intro. So get in there and let us know what your favorite track is to rip around in. Other than that, drive fast, brake late.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for that, Jeff. That's very important to us. We want to engage in the community a little better, and anything, questions, share with us something you bought or something that, you know, you're thinking about getting. Anything to that email, and we'll put it out on the show. So with all that said, and 50-ish minutes later, it's been an absolute pleasure to come on here, and I hope you all have a great start of your week. Thank you.